to have, for a question to be real, I mean a true question, it has to be brand new. It has to be brand new. It has to be a question that has never been answered before. What is the point, you see? What is the point of asking a question that's already been answered? What question has never been answered before? That's your question. What question do I have to ask that no one has ever answered before? No thing is not in any book, in any Bible, in any history book. It is not in any other's experience, other saintly revelation. It is simply something that is brand new. That has to be a question. Otherwise, it's useless. The question has been answered before. The answer came before the question. The answer is not what you're looking for. It's the most appropriate question. The biggest question that you instinctively are drawn to. Something in your gut, in your core, that has a question. Or your head has hundreds of questions. Your head has millions of questions. They're happening periodically, every moment. And it is hundreds of answers that follow it. Hundreds of options of answers. Options of questions, options of answers. Options of how the questions are raised and asked, and options of how they are answered. But there's a question that lies within your core being, your gut, that does not need to go through the route of head. It is brand new. This question is absolutely brand new. It's only relevant to you. The answer, only relevant to you. When you speak the question, many will say, but yeah, I've had that question being asked before. And you will say, well, so what was the answer of all these? Well, you know, they come up with different answers. Well, not the same answer. Well, no, because the question was a very personal question related to each individual. So the answer was different. See? Now we're reaching true education. This is true education. When you ask a question that comes from core being, gut, you're not willing to take anyone else's answer, even though they've asked the same question. You're not willing to take any answer from any other source. No, I want to find the answer myself. I want to find the answer within. I want to find the answer without. Out with, in, out, shake it all about. I want to find the answer on my own. And when the answer comes, I'm not going to share it with anyone. Why? Because it's my answer. I want to share with you this very simple point that may liberate you or may confuse you. either or, is a very good question. Who in your world right now exists outside of you? Who in your world exists outside of you? And anything that exists in your world outside of you, why do you give it so much attention? Surely your world contains everything and is appearing for you, through you, as you. And it's not really relevant to anyone else in your world. When you taste the coffee, aroma, wonderful coffee. It's the best coffee I had in the world. And someone says, yes, I tasted it exactly like you. Exactly like you. How could you? You're not in my world. Are you asking the right question? Has the question arisen from your core? Is the question relevant to anything that you know? I kind of know half the answer. Is it a ridiculous question that has nothing to do with you? Because the question is burning inside you now. Is the question that has to be asked and raised. If you say, the question now is, who am I? I don't know who I am. But there's a more important one. I wonder if God exists. I'm going to ask the God question. You're going to suffer. Each question and every question is valid when it comes from Hara. And this question has to be exposed and raised and analyzed. Not what the answer is that comes. I want to look at the question. Who am I? Who am I? Why am I asking this question? Why am I asking this? I have these three words in front of me. Who am I? Who is who? And who is am? And who is I? Why? What is the relationship between who am I and the one that is asking the question? Me, I, whatever. I'm not interested in the actual question being answered. I'm interested in looking at the question and wondering why I asked this question, why it's coming through my core being, and why it is raised in front of me. What is this question about? I'm not interested in an answer. I don't want an answer. I don't want any answer to say your name is Graham, you're a boy, you're a man, you're this, you're that. No, I'm not interested in the answer. I want to ask, look at the question. Who am I? Why did this question raise? Why is this question burning inside? Other question could be, am I this body? Am I this body? Am I this body? Well, I'm asking the question, am I this body? Am I? Who's am I? Am I? Am I this body? What is this body? Wait a minute, I'm asking the question, so I can't be this body, and I can't be I am. I'm witnessing I am this body. Or am I this body? And it's nothing to do with me. So why this question for me? What is this question about? You'll know when head comes in, when, yeah, I must sit with this. Am I this body? Yes. Head mind wants to get in before you actually look at the question. No, don't let this one look at the question. We might lose this one to Nirvana. We don't want to lose this one. We want to keep this one here as a human. We have to evolve as humans. No more questions. I'll ask the questions, said Ego Mind. Mr. Mind says, I'll ask a question. I'll ask a question, a relevant question. What time is it for tea? You know, I'm hungry. What time is it for tea? That's a very valid question. What is this? Who am I? I know who you are. You're John. You're Simon. You're a body. You're a man. What is it? Get over it. You know, I told you these questions years ago. Don't ask these questions. Am I this body? Of course you're this body, for goodness sake. Of course you're this body. What else could you be? Do you think you're the universe? Do you think you're a space? No. Mind is always wanting to give you the answers, but he always wants to give you that question that relates to the answer that is already known by mind. I know the answer. Yeah? 1066. I know the answer. Okay, Mr. You in the mirror, Mr. Body that I'm representing. When was the Battle of Hastings? 1066. Mind asked the question, mind gave the answer. Bullshit. You see, conditioned learning. What question is burning within your root, core, hara place that you feel, I want to expose this. I'm not going to expose it to any of this world. I want to expose it to where the question is. I want to send the question back to the place where it comes from. What is this question? Who am I? Who am I? You answer it. I'm not putting it up here. The minute it comes up here, you're a man. Who am I? You ask it. You answer it. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Down here, you see. I don't want anything up above neck level. I don't want to see anything above neck level, because there's a chance that head will take over. There is no answers. That's the conclusion. So if there are no answers, where can questions come from? Questions can still arise, you see. Questions that arise that have got answers, the answers have came first, you see. Do you understand this? Watch Yuji Krishnamurti. I experienced it. Yuji experienced it. Yuji, it's his topic. It's his preferred subject. If a question arises and an answer arises after it, the answer came first. If there was a question arises and no answer comes, it's a new, fresh question. Where will the answer come from? Will the answer come from conditioned head, conditioned computer, hard drive, program? I know the answers of everything in here. Or will the question come from a new source, from your inner being, from yourself? I don't know. I'm not here to give you answers, you see. I'm only here to force you to look within and see if there's a question that bonds. If not, that's fine. Use your head, time being. But at some point in your human life, you're going to have a question that arises. And head mind will say, ignore it. It's not feasible. It's not possible. We've no answers for that. I'll come back with you on that one. Best way till your body goes, and you'll find that one out yourself, you see. Best way to die, you know. This is a stupid question. This is a spiritual, religious question. No, we don't want that one. I'll give you a good question, you know. I'll give you a really good question. You know, what time is it for tea? No, that's a good question. You know. I'm hungry. Namaste.